talk about it. Let's talk about it. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Give honor to Source, Big Mama, Most High, all in one, one and all. Give honor to the ancestors for the greater good of all, to the harm of none. Give honor to my ancestors in the patriarchal as well as the matriarchal. Gratitude, ancestors known and unknown. But anywho, message. I'm glowing. It's because I'm taking care of myself, my inner self. Shut the fuck. Anywho, let me get that lighting right. Ooh, it's gonna be interesting for a lot. I already know this is gonna reach. My intentions is just coming out. It has a lot to do with this redirecting my energy for a greater cause. Let me start by saying that I could have, on the healing journey, you're going to see how, I need to get a pillow or something for my back. But on this healing journey, y'all, this is going to be vital. One thing we're going to realize is this. Position this camera pretty good. As we elevate mentally, consciously, it's so cool in here. Oh my gosh. But the thing about what we're seeing being exposed has everything to do with the Aquarian age. Has everything to do with the knowingness, you knowing what you came here to do. That also being how I'm realizing this is that, you know what, I'm actually gonna do this. It's so interesting because so much is going to be exposed. I don't know if y'all can see that on the wall over there. That's an image that, again, my grandmother has an image of that on the wall. That is an image of, some may call the Christ, some may call Jesus, some may call whomever it is. It's not up for debate. But a lot of, how could I express this? Just let it flow. Psychologically, how people have been under a spell or just in this delusional state. I actually, I'm gonna give y'all this exercise. Well, I'm gonna share something with y'all because this is gonna get very interesting. I don't give a fuck, like, it is what it is. I remember when I was younger in a neighborhood that I grew up in. And this gentleman came by. We were actually in a church. And this is why I tell people, all of your experiences is part of, all of our experiences here is a part of our karma. We're clearing karma. We're acknowledging things within ourselves. We're acknowledging the patterns, the accountability we're taking now that has been continuing. And this is why I'm going more to depth, because this shit is about to get deep. This guy came, and we were, the youth, we would just go to this church, and I think they had a summer program. And so, sure, like a lot of us have experienced this, where you go, and I know a lot of you have had this awareness since you were younger, being a spiritual being or being a being of love and light in a sense. But again, due to the karmic cycles or what we've have to endure, could seem like a curse and at the same time a blessing. It's how psychologically shit has happened over time. And now that the spells that are being broken and released and being returned to sender, all these things that, again, is changing our perception. And I'm going to get to perception in a minute, because we're going to realize how powerful imagery is what we hear vibrationally, what we see, all these things are like food. All these things have been subconsciously programmed now to bring more awareness and things to light now. So that being said, there's no more straddling the fence. These things, so many things are coming to light. And there's no more fear of the division, the great divide of how you're seeing for the last time for some family, friends, whomever it is, that are so consumed by their fear or earthly attachment to certain things, and again rooted in fear due to how they cannot separate themselves from it or detach from it in a way. So again, when we were younger, we went to this church, and we would go there, a lot of our friends, and just meet. And we were younger, like I would say, I don't know if we were like 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, but there were different age groups. So we're in there, you get your food, you get whatever it is, and you just there like, oh man, you're meeting new people. And this guy comes in, I believe he had to be a preacher, pastor, whatever you want to call him. And this exercise that he used, he actually got a piece of paper as such. And then he said, I got an exercise for you guys. Now, I'm going to show you how money can be used for the detriment, or how it has been used to as an emotional attachment to those who have been in survival. Peep this. So he said, I have $10 for anyone that can get this correct. Immediately, boom, manipulation strategy. Use money. And I'm like, well, what does this have to do with church? What does this have to do with anything? So again, we have to go to the root of a lot of what is happening and what we're coming out of, and this healing journey that we are so ever learning about ourselves, about others, about this whole narrative of everything. So he begins to hold up this white paper and say, hey, what color is this? Everybody's like, white, white, white. We're so excited because it ain't about the color of the fucking paper. It ain't about anything else but that money. Because again, psychologically, what can I do with that $10? Where can I go? My mind is already, these kids' mind are already set on what could I do. Now you have 20, 30 kids. One person with $10. Psychological now. Most of these kids are darker, indigenous, or, darker shaded people. Here where a church is in a rural area, or in the so-called, what they call projects. This guy was like, what color is this paper? Everybody's like, white, white, white. What color is this paper? Everybody's like, white, white, white. Immediately, white, white, white. Everybody's like, this color is white, it's white, it's white. And then he proceeds to say, what do cows drink? Immediately, out of 20, 30 people, I will say 99% of everyone said milk. One girl said water. The color of that wall, white. The color of this lamp, white. The color of this paper, white. What do cows drink? Because the imagery in your mind. So if I give you an image of something when you're younger, if I give you an image of something that this is inferior, that, when I give you an image of something on television that only happiness comes from a particular people, only success comes from a particular people. This is what happiness looks like. And it's not so much of the color in essence. It's so much of how psychologically, easily, that we can become attached to how powerful our subconscious minds are, how powerful we are mentally. It goes back even to imagination. Notice even in schools and certain places how majority of the walls are white. If you haven't been in a jail, I myself have, or people that have known that have been in prison, the walls are the same color, white. This is to keep the fact that when we look at water, the different spectrums, the different hues of color, rainbow, all these things, just like your imagination. It's the psychological warfare, the spells that people have been under. See, when the guy asked everyone that question and 99% of people said milk, because in their mind, it was white. It had nothing to do with the cow. It was white. So this isn't to, how could I say, point out or make it seem like anyone is less than anyone is better than anyone. But I'm showing you the power behind magic and programming and conditioning. And when he handed that little girl the $10, everybody immediately, every person's individual, their emotions was different. Like, why couldn't it be me? Oh man, it was so many different thoughts of like, wow, cows do drink water. It was just so many things. And immediately, even you have to realize even how every child emotion wasn't the same. Everybody response wasn't the same. Everybody emotional response due to whatever circumstances that they were living in, due to their environmental circumstances. Then let's talk on the bigger picture, economically. Now, again, if I give you an image of only people that looks like you, experience just discomfort, dis-ease, pain, suffering. If I just give you that image on television that this is only what you're good for, is a basketball player, football player. You're only good for what? Dying, being shot. You're only good for being angry. This is how amazing, how everything is a part of the divine order. This is why I push healing. This is why you see again how the importance of, for instance, you seeing that image has nothing to do with just the image. It has everything to do with the woman that sees that image and then what she believes to be her savior, her protector, her provider. But yet if I give you an image, if I give you an image of the pain, if I give you an image of what it is I'm expressing, does that go ignored? Does that go ignored? It's the power in the image. But I can show this to so many people, and every person will see something that is relatable. But yet, how many of us see this? How many of us see the beauty in your hair? How many of us see the beauty in the crowning of who you are? The royalty that runs in your bloodline, in your DNA. And I don't mean royalty like what you see. I mean the fact that how energy is. Seeing yourself as divine and beautiful, creation, stardust, something greater than what you believe you're only good for. You believe you're only good for. No, that's bullshit. So currently, when I say you can't straddle the fence no more, the Piscean age was all about believing, beliefs. And we know that to be everything centered around religion. It's not to say there isn't love in religion, but a wise man once said that love is my religion. It's not to say that we can't get clarity or awareness in certain things. That's what a student is. A student learns. So notice what you're seeing in the world right now. I've expressed to someone, if you're be ye not conformed to this world, didn't my father say, your father, whoever you want to call that, if they first hated me, then who they will hate? Am I surprised? So I see me loving myself and then receiving the backlash and hate from that. Guess what? That doesn't surprise me, because I see the disconnect within people that don't love themselves, that doesn't have a connection to going within themselves or something greater than what is externally given to them for validations, for pride purposeful, to be prideful for in their material things, or to be, have this egotistical aspect on life just because what? Again, every fucking thing you've been given was given to you. I was given this vessel. I was given all these things. I was given the family. I was given the daughter, the princess. I was giving Universal Mother, Big Mama, Source, gave us everything here. It was given. As Tupac said, I was given this world. I didn't make it. I was giving the circumstances. And then I learned that, wow, I had to elevate. I had to realize, like, when I saw this healing journey and I came here to see the karma that not only that was collected through lifetimes, I saw the karma that was mirrored through the women. The pain that was passed through their fucking trauma, through their wounds, the baggage that they carried. So as a man, as a reflection of, as a son, as a reflection of the feminine and masculine, as a reflection of Source, I was given the knowledge. I was given the awareness. I was given the vision to see. Am I supposed to make you and convince you to accept it? No. Are you just supposed to be like, yeah, I'm going to agree? No. You have your own world, your own mind. You choose to think for yourself. Again, it was given. All of which is given. The knowledge, the wisdom, the clarity, the awareness was given. No one in this world is going to make me. No, we're not building that. We're not building kingdoms and empires upon the illusion of what someone else tells us that, well, this is who you are. This is who you should be, or else. Or else what? Death is what? Okay. Where's the fear in that? Oh, this is going to happen to you. Or we're going to take this. So, do you not see it happening? It's been happening. money, these things are a tool. But do you know the importance that you are the currency? Be careful of the company you keep company. Mind your business. You are your own business. You are your own entity. You are your own everything first. You learn that through the connection to source, to the God within you. Why would I go back and forth with people that don't have that connection, that awareness? Everyone hasn't. This is the elevation. This is the divine consciousness. This is the unity consciousness. This is the beauty that's happening. We're giving the gifts. I'm secure within myself. We learn that when we have to go through these karmic lessons to see why it is I have to see the importance of healing the relationship with my mother, then now I'm going to the root of it, being that, seeing the reflection in my grandmother. Because I express to y'all this. Yes, it's important to heal the relationship with your mother, because again, you're going to be her son, no matter whatever age you are. As is the father, young women, you're still going to be a daughter or a princess to your father. But at the same time, no longer can we straddle the fence and bullshit the fact that their mindsets, we are advanced. We are more aware now of the patterns that they have been going through. And then we are here to change that narrative of survival. We are breaking that spell. That spell has been broken and rebuked and shattered. That paradigm, that illusion that they've been living in, we're all going to come to this awareness. We're returning to source, to love. When we break out of these norms and realize, like, wow, this is the conditioning of what has been passed down. This is the importance of why daughters, you mothers that have a father that's still here, or grandfather, learn the importance of why what was their relationship with their mother? Their perception on how they view women will show you why your perception on how you view men. And then why you manifested a masculine version of yourself was to bring forth healing to yourself and your lineage. Same with what? Myself. Me coming to the realization, I just had to sit down. I just had the most fucking uncomfortable conversation with my grandmother. And it was everything that was supposed to happen. Because no longer can we sit back and just, you can feel the tension. The more you become in tune, you can feel the energy. You can feel it. You can feel the things that's unsaid. Because as you're going through your healing journey and you become healed in certain places, then you realize, like, oh, wow, I'm healed here, but at the same time, there's something else here. The shadow work. Then you'll see the things that people haven't faced. Because a lot of us men are rising up, these warriors, in the sense of how Big Mama is showing us that we now must have honor the pain that we've experienced with the women that have been passed alone, is having to do with what Mama had to go through with her sons being shot, being all these traumas, all these things, her sons from past lineage being snatched from her sons being emasculated on the media everywhere. And wonder why, when a man is in his masculinity, strong, you know what I'm saying, and standing in his power, acknowledging his shadow, acknowledging his pain, acknowledging the things that I know I take an account for, so I speak. I empower others. Be you, love you, honor you. Because to do that is to realize your connection to Big Mama, to source, to why we're all here to learn this, to see that love conquers all this shit. Then you will see the evil and malicious and manipulative things and spells that people have been under. And why it is we're supposed to speak up and say something about it. To break that what? Generational curse. I had an uncomfortable I'm not the only one. Come on. We're not in this alone. When you, let me tell y'all some shit. When you acknowledging and on your healing path, you're trying to rest. You're trying to wonder what it is, what's my purpose here? You know, releasing doubt, releasing fears. And this ain't just shit that it's just for you. This has been passed through lineages. This has been passed through the mother's wombs of your grandmothers, of your great-grandmothers, who had to endure so much pain and agony and suffering. When her son was removed, her son being a reflection of the father. When the father was removed, then what? That, again, when that father is not there to protect the future mothers, which is the daughters, what happens? Then there's instability. Then you'll see why these child support agreements, these so-called systems, or these so-called things, why our people have been in this curse, or, you know, in this shit for, you know, up to this now, why all these things are being exposed. You'll see why now, why this was designed only for the gain. See, gain is in the sense of what we see it as. It's just material things. It's bigger than that. Because when these things come, which are given to us, what better thing to have in this moment now is more peace, inner peace, security, being fearless, not fearing death, not fearing not having something when we know the importance of why it was removed, because it wasn't in alignment. What I had to realize is that a lot of the women I was connected to, their hearts, due to what they've experienced with men, you know, the disappointment, their viewpoint on what men is, their whole perception on what men should be doing and how they should be doing it. I just had to have an uncomfortable conversation with my grandmother about that. Because when you're on this journey and your vision is to bring something different, unique, truth, and love, that comes with the territory. That comes with standing in your power, standing 10 toes down, standing in your truth of knowing, of holding your vision high above all this superficial shit. Holding your vision high, honoring what the Most High, the Creator, has given you. Standing firm on your spiritual gifts, because your gifts shall open doors that no man can close. And realizing that connection within self and the disconnection, that when you see those that are not living in alignment, they're not actually exercising or emitting love, you see the disconnect they have. And so through those uncomfortable conversations and through those things that a lot of people are afraid to speak on, that has been just been brushed up on the rug, that shit is surfacing now. You are the one that has to stand up and speak up. How do you think that rape, people that have experienced that, so, you know, just due to survival, imagine the people that stayed in relationships and marriages over time and just for survival. It's not to say some of our mothers, trust me, things had to happen. It's bigger than me for this moment now, for a lot of it to end and for these karmic cycles to complete, for us to no longer continue it. There's people that are afraid to speak up what happened, you know, in family dynamics, knowing how it will destroy a foundation that's not even built upon truth. but it's the fear of not being a part of something. But ask yourself, would you rather be a part of something that, again, what you see now in the Americas, why would you want to be a part of something that clearly is being dismantled, that's clearly is in the front of your face right now, that's being destroyed? Now you becoming aware that not only were our mothers affected by this, but the sons and fathers and the daughters that came through her as well. We're all are affected by this. We all have been affected by this. Not only through the patriarchal aspect of our family, because how would mother have experienced her pain if it wasn't for the patriarchal, the father, the son, the grandfather, so forth, as well as the matriarchal. So there could be no discredit or devalue of how you see the matriarchal to be. If, as far as you go back, man, you're going to find the woman, the mother. How do we all get here? So again, it's the illusion of separation. You know, me having that conversation with her, I don't know how it led there, but again, it was just simply speaking about how you need to get a 9 to 5. You need to do this. You know, you're not a man if you don't go work. And see, I had to make it very clear because my little cousins and them were standing, they were there. Them two being, you know, young kings and another one being a princess. So I realized the bigger picture in me standing up in that, you know, exchange that me and my grandmother had. I wasn't uncomfortable. It was her energy that was uncomfortable. You have to realize when you are at this vibration and, you know, of love, it's going to expose every insecurity or survival tactic or fear that people have that has nothing to do with you, but they're going to project onto you what they feel out of their circumstances or experience, what and how your life should be. See, work to them is from survival and their conditioning and what they have experienced here on earth, or what they've experienced with their connection with their mother, their father, or what they were forced into. My grandmother is one of the most amazing, powerful women that I have ever known. She raised 6 to 7 grandkids on her within herself. See, I'm not here to point and say that, oh, this woman is, no. Everyone has some shit that comes with them. Everyone has baggage. How many of you are willing to unpack it and to look within yourself and to see your role into how your life became to be? So again, I had to stand up. It wasn't just me speaking. It was me speaking my truth, but also the ones that came before me and the ones that will come after. See, the little kids that were there, that when this, you know, exchange happened, they saw it as an argument. I saw it as simply as something being purged and released, because they are the future generation. I'm, being that they're younger than I'm, in between with my grandmother, I'm in the middle, like in a sense of like the age bracket. Y'all have to realize this, that these elders only know what they've experienced. A lot of them only know survival. So their mindset is just simply attached to fear of survival due to what they only know. So mostly their attachment is going to be to money. Mostly their attachment is going to be to societal standards, religious beliefs. So I'm here to let you know that, again, that's not everyone's perception on life. That's not my perception on life. So I stood in my truth. Does that say that she was wrong? No. Does that say I'm wrong? No. You have a 6 And if I stand on this side, you may see a 9. I may see a 6. It's perception. And then she's only projecting from her experience. And then most of these people, a lot of you, when you do your healing work, a lot of them never saw a healed version of a man or a man that's secure. How is he so secure in who he is and honoring who he is? How is he not worrying about money, material things, a house, a foundation? How is he not concerned about that? Because my journey is completely different from anyone in my family or the family that I was given. Because I'm supposed to create a different narrative of the opposite of fear, the opposite of, anything that's not rooted in survival and fear. I'm not supposed to. I'm creating a foundation upon truth and love. So love is going to expose anything that's of fear. Truth is going to expose everything that's false. That's a lie. This is what people are uncomfortable with in these moments because they've been so comfortable in drowning in their own lies that they've given themselves. The world has been drowning. Look at America. It's drowning in their own lies and deception and manipulation. And now they're faced to look not only in the reflection of water, but the reflection of the mirror and see themselves and see their own fucking shit. See the stuff that they've been brushing up on the rug. So how am I at peace with myself? Because I realize I've come to the self-realization. I've acknowledged my own shit. And I realize that these patterns, the things that I've gained, has everything to do with what I was shown as a child. So then when I stand up in front of these people that don't want to acknowledge their shit, of course I'm going to be hated and despised and shunned away. Of course they're not going to want to have nothing to do with you or me. Because you have grandparents, their kids chose not to say nothing. Then you have those that, again, that are selected, elected or whatever, anointed to expose that bullshit that they've been living in. What does that do for you? I'm going to let you know. That breaks generational curses and spells that people have been under. That breaks their illusion because most people don't want their illusion shattered. They don't want their illusion shattered. They don't want the world that they've been lived so comfortably in their shell. And it doesn't matter anything in the world, no matter where it is. Water is always going to find its way through something. Look at the ocean. Look at the surface. How does anything grow here? Water. What is your body or everything made of? Water. What did you birth from? Primordial waters. You came from your mother. From the water. So I start to listen. And I realized this. I was like, wow. When those kids were in there and we had our exchange, I was like, wow, tell me how you really feel. This how you really feel? But I realized this. I was still at peace. But at the same time, I'm going to, when you speak up and you speak in truth and not allowing their projection of their fears to consume you, it becomes very uncomfortable for these people. Because you become unstoppable. You become immovable. You become that rooted tree that no matter the storm, no matter the climate change, no matter whatever happens, you're still rooted. No matter what location, no matter how much is shaken up in your life, you are still the calm waters. But at the same moment, just as calm as the water is on the surface, down below, you've acknowledged the darkness within yourself. At the same time, you have a current, you have a wave, you have an energy. And through that exchange, the things that they are afraid to say sometimes comes up. This is because this is the emotional baggage. This is the emotional things that have been pushed down over time. And what people are afraid to speak on. You know why you haven't been wanted to come around? A lot of you? It's because you are the one that carries that energy, that you have that spiritual currency. You have that shit within you that money cannot buy. That you have something within you that no matter how prideful people are with the shit that they have, no matter how much money, all these things they have, it's something within you that they want. And it's like, they don't realize it's within them. That's the royal energy. That's the things, and they all carry this. People carry this, but they just are refusing to do their shadow work. That's why I tell people the judgment, my judgment isn't for you, but you judge me. You throw the stone and then hide your fucking hand. You pull your pants down, and when I'm in my vulnerable state, not just this vessel you see, but the inner child, the inner essence of me, when I'm in this vulnerable state, speaking my truth, speaking from love, speaking from purity, you pull your pants down, and some of you, this is what the world has shown you to do. You laugh. You speak down on people as if you're above them. You pull your pants down and you piss on people. You pull your pants down, look at humanity. You pull your pants down and you shit right on people. Look at what you do. Look at you. You go right out here and you see these people on the street. And you judge them just because they're there. Who the fuck are you? Who are you people? You hate that which will guide you to yourself. A leader is going to lead you to yourself. You fools are misled. You allowing someone to think for you. Who is your God? Money is your God. Food, a lot of stuff is your God. As soon as that thing is being removed, here you are. All of a sudden judging, speaking, saying this to certain people because you don't even know who you are. Yet, if I don't conform to your beliefs, yet if I don't see myself as, this, what the fuck? If I don't see myself just because I don't want to play into these mind games, these manipulate. I caught on early, even went through the women and month. Y'all don't realize that you learn so much from people. You'll see how mentally ill, how they don't even know their self. They don't even, this is blocked. Their mind, their heart, the grief, the pain, a lot of stuff here within themselves that they carry and they project it onto others. Things in here. When they see a police or they see whatever it is, they see this and thinking that, oh, this person has this, they're better. Or this person has this, I got to live with. No, you don't got to. Who? Huh? Since when? Why? It's out now. This is the beauty of it. It's returning to the origins on which it was. You or nobody. Anybody, y'all who can convince me to think that what? I'm not amazing. I'm not great. I'm not divine. I'm not beautiful in every aspect. That I shouldn't love every version of my evolution. Who are you or anyone to come along and tell me that I'm not great, I'm not grand, I'm not amazing? So that uncomfortable conversation I had with my grandmother had nothing to do with who I am and becoming. It had everything to do with her perception on her life. Because what's being exposed right now, you're going to see people that have so much attachment to materials that they know that they can no longer hide the pride and the mental struggle that they have with not having certain things. Because a lot of which is that their whole lifetime, they have had people taking care of them. Or, yeah, they have certain things, but were they living in their truth? Were they being honest with themselves? A lot of which you'll see that a lot of people never honored who they truly are. They never knew who they were. They don't know who they are without money. They don't know who they are without this badge. They don't know who they are without this title. They don't know who they are without their career. This is happening globally. And you're going to see who's really insecure, more focused on external validation, or who's more internal, more secure within who they are. Meaning not in competition with no one here, no matter their status, money, whatever. Because if I'm made in the image of Source, the creator, then wow, I look around, I'm like, well, first of all, I have everything. At the same time, I have nothing because I can't take none of this with me. This is a part of my conscious experience. So again, what are we instilling in these kids, in the youth? Are we teaching them value of loving themselves, to honor their truth, to use their imagination? And then what? How can you be surprised when what happens in the world or what's unfolding when the world has been consumed by evil, in the sense of, you know, the world itself has been, especially America, has been under this curse, in this dark place, only now to see the fucking light shining on their shit. On everyone. It's not just you, it's not just me. It's a judgment of the heart. What is this about? You're going to see who knows love. Who even have love inside of them. Who's here to destroy? Who's here to do this? So, that conversation again. Y'all have to realize your elders are very vital. Because again, what was passed to them stops with you. It's supposed to. The generation after is supposed to be fucking greater, y'all. We're supposed to have a different mindset. We're supposed to think differently. We're supposed to do things differently. This is what makes you unique. This is what makes you amazing. You're seeing a dying of an old age. It's done. Just sit back and observe. Get your popcorn and watch and observe. And then when you're in tune and you listen, you'll see what actions you need to take. Do you have the faith? Can you surrender? Can you honor, your intuition? Are you willing to relocate? Okay. Are you willing to renounce all the things you learned? Are you willing to reconnect with your spiritual essence? Are you willing to connect with those things that you realize that is it in the book? Is it in school? Are you willing to accept that? Some people are not going to change. They're not. And even if they do, most of the time you're not going to be around. We are completing and already have. This is the ending. This is the final stage. of the Great Divide. Some of us going to have to walk away from everything. Some of us going to have to walk away from kids. Some of us going to have to walk away from a lot of things. We all have our own individual journey. No one can run from karma. No one can run from, and that's energy. No one can run from what we're here to do. A part of that healing journey is acknowledge like how your emotions are a guide. Emotion, ocean. They're like, when crying, the healing is so you can honor this truth within you. So you can do the very things. So you can see and mirror back to those who don't know what that is. And then this, again, what do you want your kids that comes after you, the generation that comes after you, to honor their emotions, to honor their spiritual gifts, to honor the love that's been given, to be limitless, to have a mindset of bliss, to live in harmony? To maybe live off the land, to maybe live in another place where it's peaceful? We're clearing fucking karma from so many generations and timelines, y'all. When those kids was right there and they saw me and my grandmother having that exchange, it wasn't pretty to a lot of things, for a lot of people. People like, whoa, oh my God. First of all, my value has nothing to do with money. Let's make that very clear. Because when you see what the state of the world is in, then your mindset of money will change. Then you will realize that the U.S. currency in other countries isn't even in the same bracket. Like, the currency is changing. Everything is changing. Everything is going digital in a sense. You're talking about $50, Google it, research. $50 in Colombia or South America is like $100,000, 50 US dollars. Jamaica, money is different. Things are changing, folks. Get with the program. You have to realize a lot of people have stayed here in America. A lot of us are reconnecting with our ancestors. We're seeing, learning about how our ancestors that of different shades played a major part in the coming of what will become and what will be. Played a major part in how even some of us have gotten here. What makes us so unique in the so-called Americas is that a lot of us have a lot of everything. And so this is why you're seeing, again, you're connecting, reconnecting with these aspects to travel here, to go here and learn this and learn that. I'm telling someone the other day, I was like, you went on a cruise? Cool. Okay. They've been cruising over here. That boat just evolved. They've been sailing over here. They've been coming over here. What's different? Are we supposed to, like, it's an advancement of humanity, right? A lot of us going to be removed and relocate places for our sanity, for our peace. Because this lifetime, the Great Divide has everything to do with creating a life of harmony, peace. This is what so many people, money and a lot of material stuff is not going to give you that inner peace. I'm just going to let you know. A lot of shit is not going to give you that satisfaction or that wholeness that really all these things come from within. All these things come from with sitting with yourself. These things come with acknowledging, like seeing the patterns. And what's been ongoing. Seeing the race, the spells, and like a lot of shit that people have been under. Seeing the comfortability, knowing how uncomfortable people really are. They don't see it coming. It's okay. A lot of things are finna shift. This whole perception of life. You think it's gonna matter when the weather changes and something happens? You think all that stuff is gonna matter then? What you really have? So again, it's like me telling these kids when a grandmother is saying like, oh, you're not a man just because you're not doing this. No, I am. And I'm going to have, and one thing we have to realize this is that, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all this, especially within melanated indigenous communities, depending on where you are, especially those who look like me or in the sense of like have experienced this, y'all got to realize this, that your vision is given to you. And sometimes when you do share with those, their level, their awareness of consciousness or awareness of how deep they met themselves, their response is going to be from a place of insecurity. Their response is going to be from a place that is not secure within love. Most of the time, their response is going to be from a place of survival, fear, or conditioning. And so this is why you don't give up. This is why you keep going. This is why your vision, your purpose was given to you. This is why when you realize that there are others that are going to, or align with you, that are going to celebrate with you, that you know that from a inner level or inner awareness that these are some of the people that you haven't spoken to in years, or something happened, but you know deep down when you see them that it's not personal. This is why a lot of families or people that you know, a lot of karmic lessons come through them because of the disconnect they have with love, and the source is only to reconnect you with it to help bring forth a harmonious, balanced, more prosperous life, abundant life for those who come after you. This is about legacy, people. This isn't about what people, whatever they express, that shit ain't got nothing to do with a lot of it, because they're going to see it regardless. A lot of which they're not going to believe because it's not tangible to them. So a lot of things we express is coming from a higher level of awareness, you know, and we're giving that for a reason. So if I'm telling my grandmother like, oh, I'm going to have this, and, you know, it's nothing to prove anymore. There's never nothing to prove, because that comes from external things. This has come from their beliefs. This is coming from them believing that someone is going to bust the sky open and come down and save humanity, or them believing that, you know, whatever it is they believe, that's their belief. That's still not your world. When you're in the presence of someone else, they still have their own world. They view life through their lens. A lot of which you're going to realize that people only view life through pain, through suffering, through survival. This is why what the karmic lesson is, it's not the people. The lesson is, what are you learning as a student? Because they're teaching you something to acknowledge within yourself, to acknowledge in what generational curse to break or what pattern to release. Honoring rest. Do you know a lot of I had to see this. I stand firm on my fucking gifts. Stand firm on what's been given to you. Because a lot of which we know, we don't want to see the mothers and people that we've been going through in the survival state. But do you know you had to go through it for it to stop? Hello, you had to go through and grow through to see the rotten fruit, the cycles that will continue, the cycles that will no longer continue through you. This is why some of us had to have kids, to see the cycle that won't continue through us. This is the beauty. This is what the healing journey is about. This is the beauty of that shit. What do you think other people are supposed to do when they want to just give you this narrative that these people are better than you because they have all of this? They got all of this. These are the most mentally ill people. Not all, some. These are the most people, again, that they're not even aware. Because you have people in a lot of places that are aware. But you have people that realize that, shit, this is the awakening. This is what's happening. And then the social media, again, is a platform. You got people that are being used, and you got people that use it. So, do not put me on no pedestal. I'm not sitting here like I'm greater than anyone. No. A leader is going to lead you to yourself. I empower you to stand firm in what you in love. Let love be the guide. If you don't know love, if you're trying to find yourself, clear your heart space. Research, learn, call upon, source, the creator, for the good. Call upon your ancestors. Call upon your spirit guides for the good of all, to the harm of none. To guide you, light your path. And again, let me tell y'all something. You're going to be guided to dark places. It's just like this. You're going to be guided. Only for you to see your fucking self. And that's what happens. I like that. You're going to realize that once you find that light within, that's always been there since you were a child, no one can dim that shit. This is what irritates people. Because this is like your inner child, that light, that beacon of light. And then as you acknowledge your healing journey, as you begin to acknowledge, the patterns, the things that you have to release, you begin to see yourself again. It becomes, it becomes brighter like that. Then you'll be able to see the wounds. Then you'll be able to see the things within yourself. Then you'll also be able to see that mirrored from other people. You'll begin to see their wounds and unhealed versions. The things that have been passed. The things that, again, Mama said was okay, but Mama only did that for survival. Mama only did that because to numb the pain. Mama only drank herself, smoked, or did these things to numb who she really was. I saw this at a little age and be like, that's okay. That's okay. What the fuck do you think is happening in the world right now? You're teaching kids on social media or whatever it is that this is okay. You're the one that's supposed to change that shit. Relocate. Sometimes somebody will show up in your life and boom, here you go. Because of alignment. Because it's divinely orchestrated. No one can block your blessings. No one can stop what's divinely ordained for your life. Not when you're aware and in alignment. When I had that conversation with my grandmother, you're not going to have this. That's what she said. That's what came out of her mouth. Whatever, you need to do this, you need to do that. You're not going to, guess what? Yes, I will. I rebuke that shit. Yes, I will. Because y'all don't realize how fucking powerful you mothers, I'm holding you accountable. I'm your fucking son. That's now a father. You mothers, especially the original mothers. Yes, I'm calling you out. When are you going to acknowledge your healing? When are you going to acknowledge your fucking role? When are you going to acknowledge that you play a part in what your son has become and will become? That son that will grow into a father. The same thing with you fathers. When would you acknowledge the shit that you have done? When will you acknowledge your role that will be passed down to your future daughters who are the future fucking mothers? of this world, of this generation. That dope boy and all that shit. When are you going to think bigger and realize how did those drugs get here? How did all that stuff get here? You got gifts too. I get it, yes. You fathers, you sons, you young kings, Nigas. When are you going to realize, brother? Your role. I get it. Yeah, I went through the same thing. I went through the same thing with my mom. But I no longer, I release her burdens. I release her emotions. I release those things. That doesn't mean that we're still not connected. But I told her, just like I would tell any woman, I came through my mother. I didn't come from her. When you come from a higher power, you realize your role and your responsibility. Is it gonna always be perfect? No, it's not supposed to, but it's gonna get better. Because once you heal one wound, you're gonna see like, oh wow. This is why a lot of it, such as you men, you going through what you're going through because your focus is foundation. I know it, such as me. This is why I'm being faced with the root of my it's not just my mother, but now I'm being faced with the root of the tree. If your grandmother is here, I challenge you to go sit with her. Even if you don't have your mother, there's someone out there we have to heal, because there's someone out there that once we heal those versions of ourselves, we attract better versions of ourselves. Women are a reflection of all mothers, just as the princess. They're a reflection of Big Mama. Then we learn to have the respect and view them from the perception of love. I get it. A lot of us view it from a perception of pain and survival. This is why we go house to house. This is why we try to cling, because a part of us try to cling to those women that remind us so much of pain and survival. It has nothing to do, and then reflecting back and rooted in the mother that we came through, the trauma she experienced with men. This is why a lot of our melanated women or women are afraid to they hold so dearly to their sons. And they smother them. And you wonder why your sons go down this path, and not all, because everyone's path is different, but they become more sensitive in a sense of because of your projections of what you've experienced with men. Your pain and your survival, what you experienced with men, so you project that onto them. You don't allow them to illuminate their light, to shine their light to the world. Yet you want to keep their light. You want to smother their light through the protection, what you call protection when really is fear. That's what it is. And I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out on your shit. Same thing, it's everyone. We all play a role in this. And to you little princesses, you too, I'm calling you out too. A lot of you are at an age, wherever age you are uniquely amazing as you are. You are the future mothers, baby girl. You are the future grandmothers. Some of you already have eggs that you will always have for your future. You're carrying your daughters, your eggs right now. You're carrying your future daughters and mothers right now. I hope you know that. Fathers, I told my nephew and them too. I said, do you know the power of your sperm? You're carrying the future fathers, the future generations. This shit bigger than me, man. It's bigger than me. I'm giving this. This ain't about this color, that color. Everyone going through something right now. Because in some way, somehow, I've had people that helped me that didn't look like me. But at the same time, I'm calling out and the people that, again, I know who've been going and needing more guidance. Because we are the origins of this world, of God. We are the origins. My healing is my mother's healing in a sense. But at the same time, my healing is also my princess's healing. So she can realize that what I acknowledge within myself, I had to change my view on how I view myself. And if I view the mother that I came through only in pain, how is that fair to to the princess, the daughter that I was given? How is that fair to her? Even through the mother, whatever we experience together, how can I try to hold that over her head? Anything, resentment. When I realized that a lot of that stuff was rooted in what I experienced. Seeking peace, seeking validation. And this is why a lot of us have relations and lay down with people, and then we create a child or create something out of a physical attraction. And this is only because of what the world has been given. This is what a lot of us that haven't known the importance of loving ourselves and honoring who we are, because of the simple fact of we externally think that external things are going to keep us secure and validate us. It's not. So again, this is beautiful moments that we're coming in. A lot will be destroyed. A lot will die away. A lot will be released because everyone is not coming with you. Pay very close attention. People are showing and revealing who they truly are, but the judgment isn't for us. Allow the Most High, the Creator, to judge their heart. We're all being cleansed through the fire right now and cleansed through the water. So again, the water representing Big Mama, the fire representing, the Son, the Father. So again, this is very important. Again, how we're healing the wounds of our women. This is what's happening to you, mothers. You're healing the wounds of things that have been passed down, things that have been pushed down, things you've experienced with the hospitals, things you've experienced with the men, things you had experienced on your jobs and your career. You're tired. And I don't mean that in the sense of like giving up. You're returning and honoring that feminine energy principle of yourself. So that right now has you in a place of where you just want to give up. And it's like, not so much give up in the sense of like allowing, surrendering, just giving up the idea of what the world and how the world perceives you. Because the only way to change that narrative is how you see you. And that lens has to be a lens through love. And the only way that can happen is through healing and acknowledge who you are, and also seeing how you played a role, what ends with you, what continues with you, what will continue through your generations. And see, a lot of that is mirrored back through what you see, what mama has went through, what grandma has went through, or even the women that have been in your life that was a motherly figure or reflection. Same thing with the father or the men. These things play a role in your evolution and who you are and what you're becoming. So man, I'm telling you, this is this upload or what I'm receiving right now. I'm honored. Again, when I talk about source doesn't. There is. I will say this: fear and love has its purpose. Everything has its polarity. So that which you may fear, someone else may love that idea or see as an empowerment. Because a lot of which pain and a lot of stuff we will see and acknowledge will have us to see how the emotions guide us to empowerment. That's one thing I realized through the exchange with my grandmother. I was like, wow, they don't believe, they believe, but they don't know that they're powerful. And this is only because societal standards or things outside of them trying to classify or devalue how much the woman, especially the original woman of darker shade, has been devalued through so many years of being so much of like a detriment to her character. The princess, the daughter. Because within them is a daughter. Within them also is a little girl. So that power is being restored. And so again, if they don't see, and a lot of them, what I realize, a lot of people, they never had a childhood. They never knew what it was to express that. So their focus now is so much of freedom. That's what everybody really wants. They call this the land of the free, but how many people are free? How many of you know that you're free in your mind? So again, what about freeing your mind is knowing that things are always changing and will change. So this is how, again, clearing the heart space will allow you to have compassion for these people, because you can only send them love and give and share love and emit love to those who don't know love. Again, this world doesn't know love. They are consumed or take pride in thinking that love is gathering and collecting so much things to the more things that they collect is make it seem like that's a reflection of love. And it's not. It's not. So again, this is what I have for y'all today. Oh my gosh. It's a process, okay? That's all it is. It's a process. And have fun, enjoy it. Because the more you become tuned in, you will realize, like, enjoy this experience. So, peace and blessings to you all. Shalom.